Hey there, y'all. Disney D Prince here today with part 2 of our Barbie Looks Series 3, the Color Block series. And this is the part where I'm going to discuss skin tone matches, body types, and the additional aspects of the doll that's not just here's what it looks like out of the box. Thanks, Mini Me. So, first on deck is going to be our color block Tate, our model number 18, our superhero body type that is actually made to move. Now, let me show you what I mean by that. So we have our stand. We're going to set that off to the side. We're actually going to get him undressed. Now, as you can see, he has the chest articulation, he has the bicep articulation. That is great. We are going to take his feet out. There's no branding on the bottom of these shoes, FYI. These shoes are really cool, though. And a great hairstyle, I think. We're going to take his little shorts off. Okay. So, here's what he looks like. He's got all of the articulation that we have come to expect from Made to Move. Now, let's put him back on his stand. So I can talk about him a little bit. So, that is what we've come to expect from Made to Move. All of those levels of articulation. That is ankles, knees, thighs, wrist, elbow, bicep, and chest, in addition to hip and shoulder, which are pretty much standard articulation at this point. Very cool. Very nice. And let me show you why on this channel I say superhero bodies are not made to move. So, this is a Batman vs. Superman Ben Affleck doll, otherwise known as Batman. Now, we have ankle articulation. We have the double jointed knee articulation. We have the wrist articulation. We have the double jointed elbow. And we have the bicep and the shoulder. What we are lacking is right here is our thigh articulation. So you can't pose this doll any way you want. We are also lacking the chest articulation. So he does not bend. So you have less articulation with this than you do with the regular Ken body. But they are essentially the same size. I think, yes, okay. So, as you can see, this doll is also darker than him. So this is a good color comparison for you guys. So, this is why I say the superhero bodies are not made to move. Model Muse articulated bodies are not made to move. It is only if they have all the points of articulation that Made to Move has that I will consider them made to move. So, he's very cool. He is fully made to move. He is also taller than our regular Ken dolls. Let me show you guys. I have a Sean still, I think. No, I don't. Okay. But I'll show you the lighter skin tones. Okay. So we have this is our lightest skin tone with our from our BMR line. He's very good. I do not have his head on him right now, but that's okay. But as you can see, if I take his shoes off, because he's wearing some big shoes, let me just get him undressed for the sake of it. So I don't know. They look to be the same height when I put them on the same stand almost, but they're slightly different in the shoulder height, like the actual lats, from where I'm standing. But so he's not the lightest skin tone that we have, thankfully, which means he can wear a bunch more skins. This is the peachy original Tate body. As you can see, still darker than that. And then let me show you compared to our new Kens. Okay, so this is our new wheelchair Ken. As you see, he is lighter than wheelchair Ken by a significant amount. Here is the old wheelchair Ken. Again, much lighter. So he is going to be a match more for Sean than for a wheelchair Ken, which is good. But let's double check that. I've got a Sean here that's been rebodied. So Sean is actually lighter, slightly, than this one. So he is going to be a pretty good match, actually a pretty good match for Alan, surprisingly. But, so those are the ones that we have for him. So I don't think we're gonna get a ton of matches for him, but let me see. I've got some Barbie heads that need to be put onto, I've got some extra Ken heads that need to be put onto the, whatchamacallit. Yeah, here's my Sean. Yeah, see? There's Sean. Again, that was not the box I meant to grab. Alright. So, these are my box of extra Ken heads that I have that I either don't have color matches for or just haven't put on the bodies. So again, here are some of our Twilight dolls. Again, too light. Let's see. Here is our soccer player. Too dark. One of our other Kens. A little too dark. We have a Ryan. That's from like 2009. It's not a bad match. It's not a perfect match, but it's not bad. We have this guy, who does seem like he's a perfect match on my camera and in person. So that's good. So he's going to be a perfect match for our Model 18. I think I have one of him out already, but I'll have to double check. And then we have this guy. He is more of a yellow undertone, as you can see. But it's not a horrible match. But I'm hoping Brandon, and I know Brandon's not going to be closer. But, so that's not a horrible match for him. I think that might be the best he's going to get. We've got this one, which is our newer soccer player one. As you can see, they've got a slight difference in tone. And he's got blue eyes compared to his brown eyes. So, pretty close. Not perfect, but not bad. Again, this falls into the same skin tone that this guy has, which they have a bit more of a yellow undertone. So, that's about where you're at with those. We have some of our vintage Kens. Not a perfect match, but not a bad match. Let's see. Anybody? This guy might. This is our gamer Ken. Pretty perfect match, actually. On camera and in person, but he's much more cartoony, so if I do him, I'm gonna have to repaint his eyes to bring him down a notch because they are huge. But if I lower his eyebrows to his actual brow is, and then paint his eyes smaller, his head's not super bad. This is the 2016 mold, so maybe this one. Definitely this one. Maybe this one. And where'd you go? And this one. And where'd you go, boys? Where'd I put you? There. And maybe this one. So these are all pretty close for our skin tone match. I do also have this guy. Let me see. He's still a little dark, but not bad. And again, he's one that we don't have a ton of. Let's see. Okay, so when everybody asks in the comments who my doll is on my Council of Kens, it is Steve Trevor from the original Wonder Woman movie, and he was supposedly based on Chris Pine. He does not look like Chris Pine at all. Let's see. Do you match? No. Maybe. He's an okay match, but he's a better match to Sean. So those are the ones that we have. Let's see. Nope. Okay. Let's see. Blonde one. A little too dark still. Okay. So, not a bad amount of matches for our muscular Ken, which is good because he's awesome. So, very cool. My other question is, are his feet the same size? Because those shoes felt really big. I like the signature stands, but I don't love them. Like, I have better stands that I bought for 99 cents. So these are Cam's boots from the metallic series. So I'm gonna see if he... Okay, so they fit. Okay, so it just seems like those shoes were bigger. So we don't have to worry about different shoe sizes for Ken at least. So that's good. So I'm gonna get him redressed because his is easy to get redressed. Because we color matched him already. The only thing I wish he had was the other hand molds that all the other Kens have, because he still pretty much has the superhero hands, which are fist, pretty much. But that's okay. Very cool. I'm very excited to have him. Oh, almost forgot to put his shoes back on. Bum, bum, bum. All right. Okay. And now we'll look at Cam's body. Or not Cam. Brandon. So Brandon's body is pretty close to Cam's, I think. Let's see. Okay, so here is Cam. Cam is from the Barbie Look Series 2, the Metallics. Let's see. So, as you can see, it's pretty close. He's a little bit tanner compared to this one's oranger undertone, but their faces, he's a little darker. So, slightly darker than Cam. Let me show you on our new Ken doll that we have, our wheelchair Ken. Okay, so wheelchair Ken is darker than Brandon, as you can see. That's the new 2023 wheelchair Ken. Here is the original wheelchair Ken. Again, slightly darker on wheelchair Ken's part, much more of an orangey undertone. So he's much more of a flat undertone, which I think is great. But it's also one of those, it's going to be a little hard to match, I think. And here is the BMR darker skin tone. So as you can see, he is lighter. So again, he is not a perfect match for any three of these. So he is technically a new skin tone. I would put him closest to Cam. So I would probably consider him and Cam the same skin tone, just in cases of needing a Cam and not having a Cam. So Cam and Brandon, pretty close as far as their skin tone matches. It's going to be a slight hue difference, which in the world of doll matching is pretty much as good as you're going to get. Okay, so that is it for our Ken dolls. And again, we don't have to worry about the body type for Brandon because he is a standard made-to-move. Made-to-move Ken. I kind of wish they'd given us two of these, but I know why they didn't. Okay, so next up is our Andra, or Curvy Andra, I should say. So let's compare her. So I have a Metallics Heidi. Let's see. Heidi is going to be lighter, just barely. Let's see. Trying to find the ones with heads. I have a lot of empty-headed Barbies. Okay, so this is one of our made-to-move. She's a little bit tanner. Okay, so not a match. Here is one of our wheelchair Barbies. Again, pretty close. I'm gonna say pretty close, so I'm gonna keep her out and not put her away. Okay. Here is our Alex Morgan doll. Again, pretty close. I'm gonna keep her out. Sorry, of course all of my dolls are at the very bottom of my bag. This is a made-to-move Yoga. She's a little bit oranger, but not bad. Let's see. I gotta do a little bit of reworking to show you guys that one. And the other one that I want to show y'all is is the BMR Millie. So BMR Millie is a little bit tanner, but not a bad match. So the real question is going to be Samantha Cristoforetti. That's the Inspiring Women astronaut doll. One of the first Italian ones in space. So, as you can see, pretty close match to this one. She's a little bit tanner, our Andra, so she's not going to be a super perfect match for this one, but she is a great match. She is a great option for our basic Millie dolls, which includes all of those dolls that get put into that lineup. So that's great, because we get a lot of dolls that are in that skin tone. Just every fashionista release, at least, get 2 of them, probably. So this is going to be a pretty good match. Alex Morgan is a little bit lighter, so I wouldn't say she's a good match. Alex Morgan is going to be more in that signature line appeal. So if it matches your wheelchair Barbies or your BMR Talls, then you're probably going to be pretty good with this Andra. Again, this is our modern, our readily available made-to-move Millie. She is a lot more orange than Andra, so I wouldn't say this one is a perfect match, unfortunately, because we do get that skin tone a lot. But that one is more of a match for our Samantha Cristoforetti. So Millie's generally going to match Andra, which is good, because, like I said, we get a lot of those. So our next question is going to be, who does our Carl match? Because she comes next in the lineup. So as you can see, she's very cute. She is petite. My first thought when I saw her is I think she's a match for the soccer player. So here's our soccer player. She's a little bit more of a red undertone than our soccer player, but pretty close. Here is our standard made-to-move green. Again, this is paler, so probably not a match for these, unfortunately. And then, let's see. Let me show you. So, Freya is our Curvy. She's actually a pretty close match, surprisingly. So, that's one of those dolls that's going to wind up in the in-between shades. The darker Latino and lighter African shades are generally going to wind up being matches for these two. Like, I put Dreamhouse Nikki on one of these, so this is going to be your perfect match, which means that your original body soccer player is going to be as close as you get to that. So if it matches those two, that's going to be where you wind up with that. Again, and there's also the basketball player who is tall, which I do not have extras of right now, and I should have thought about that. But the tall made-to-move basketball player, she's the only tall that's been released in the Playline made-to-moves. So, again, Freya, soccer player, and Carl are all about the same skin tone. Basketball player is also going to be about the skin tone. So this will be one of the few skin tones that we have all 4 body types available, which is good because, you know, it means you can really have that body diversity. Unfortunately, we don't have a ton of matches for the skin tone right now. So it is what it is. But very cool. We still don't have a petite in the original Millie skin tone, unfortunately. Okay, our next question is going to be, who does she match? Our new Elle doll, Elle, Woods. Hashtag Legally Blonde 3. Okay, so I don't think we're going to have perfect matches for her today. Okay, so here is the current Made to Move blue. Again, much too light. Our Petite Tamika, much too light. We have our Simone, again, too dark, comparatively. Actually, it doesn't really come across as a huge shade difference on camera. Let me show y'all a bit closer. So again, a much darker hue over here compared to this one, which is the warmer undertone. You can see it better in the legs. I was hoping she was going to be this skin tone because that would have been awesome, but no. Okay, we have our BMR Curvy. So I didn't think she was going to be a match for BMR Curvy, but I guess she is. So that's not bad. Okay, so BMR Curvy, not a bad match. I may have to take her shoes off to let her ankles reset. So BMR Curvy, this is one of our original flower Made to Moves. So she is a good match for this one. So that's good. So she is a perfect shade match to this doll, even though she looks a lot darker on camera. Dang it. If you guys see her up close, the shade difference is not that big, but when you do put her in filtered light, so she's slightly darker, but that's okay. Again, this one I got used, so she's a little beat up. And then we do have our wheelchair Barbie that just got released, who is about the skin tone also. She's not quite the skin tone. She might be a little lighter. But for right now, any doll that's going to match this doll that you guys are familiar with, one of our original flower Made to Moves, or the BMR Curvy, is going to match our new Elle doll. So that's good to know. And now I'm a little mad that I didn't buy more of her, because I didn't think she was going to be a huge skin tone jump. I thought she was going to be the regular wheelchair Made to Moves. And she is actually darker. Wow, this one really does not want to stay up on her feet. I have to take these shoes off of her. Sometimes the way they stand in the box makes it to where they really can't stand on their feet after a bit. So that was 14. And now we have our 13. So 13 is going to be in that weird middle zone where she just doesn't really have the... So this is a purple top made to move. She doesn't have her head on. As you can see, it's not a huge skin tone problem, but it's not perfect. She's got a pinker undertone compared to like this one, which is our Curvy. Again, this is more of the Kira skin tone, so she's not a Kira skin tone. We know that. Is this another? Yeah, these are both the same one. So I don't have any kit on her own right now, I guess. But the petite made to move is gonna be that same skin tone, most likely. I should have pulled her out. I didn't have a ton of her either, but it's all right. So she is going to be the petite made to move. She's not a horrible match for these, but when you put this correct skin tone on the made to move body, you are going to notice a difference if you use the purple made to move. So 2 dolls right now that have this skin tone. Not a ton of dolls to match that, unfortunately. But it's just kind of the name of the game right now while they're building up skin tones. So that is where we were at. So if there are dolls that match these coming up, I will let y'all know. But right now, those are the bodies. We didn't get any new skin tones except for Brandon and our color block Tate. Oh, I should just call him Superhero. Superhero Ken. But they are slightly different tones for our Ken dolls, which is good, but also not really super helpful. So if you guys have questions on these as far as like specific dolls, I'll let you know if I have them in my collection. But generally go off of the ones that I showed you as to which ones were already in your collections. So if you have questions, leave them in the comments. If you liked it, leave me a like, or if you enjoyed it, leave me a like. And as always, follow along for some more fun unboxings. Bye y'all. Be good.